Smoker Wedmark.
Hey scale modelers, this is JP with Outdoor Scale Modeling out in the shed. It is hot here in Texas where I stay, where I reside, where I do all things that it requires to survive. Getting the channel up to snuff, I've neglected it over a year and work got in the way, and I just want it to be something more. I want to share this hobby with the world. Hopefully there's many of you like me out there. I know there's some great YouTubers out there. I want to do reviews. I want to do some build tips. I don't know everything. I do know a few things. Been doing this for probably roughly 30 years, on and off, but heavily over the past 10 years. I've been a pretty good scale modeler, enthusiast. Worked for Squadron for a little while in North Texas here, before they moved out to Georgia. I was in Squadron in the old days, and so maybe we'll tell some stories here and there about the good old days. Just wanted to share today what I'm working on, what's on the bench. It is a Hobbycraft Commonwealth Corsair. Old kit. I mean, I think this was probably the top dog for a lot of years before Tamiya got its hands on the Corsair, which, to my knowledge, Tamiya has not ever done a Fleet Air armed Corsair, and it's really a shame. I think they're someone correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they have. Maybe I missed it. But I don't think they have done a 48th scale Fleet Air armed Corsair. Maybe they did. Someone correct me in the comments. I've always been a fan of Fleet Air armed stuff and naval aviation. It's why I bought this off of the Evil Bays. Been a great little kit. I mean, it went together super easy. I believe this is what Academy uses now for its Corsair molds, releases, what have you. Went together really good. No hassle that I can speak of. There was a little bit of an alignment issue here on the belly, main fuselage, where the wings meet up with the rest of the fuselage. But overall, I mean, I can't complain. Got to the point where I'm appreciating, about ready for paint, which I'll probably do some filming of that, and just kind of show how I go through things. Some people don't like this method. That's fine. It's your model. Do what you want with it. People hate on the way people do models, and I've never have understood that. It's in my mind, the model becomes what it wants to be, and that may have a lot to do with your taste, your skill level, and what you intend to do with the model. When I've done commission work, I don't build commission models the way I build them for myself, and that has a lot to do with I want to give the customer, the best model I can do, and so I may take my time a little more. Stuff like this that is simply going to go on the shelf. I may overlook things here and there, just because I know they're there, but at the end of the day, it's not going to take away from it sitting on the shelf, and I can have a Fleet Air armed Corsair sitting there looking back at me. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. Going to start some other projects later in the summer. Probably some bigger stuff. Looking at doing the Hasagawa Tomcat soon. You know, I've owned probably over 100 of those kits in my lifetime, owned and sold them, um, and I've never actually built one. You know, uh, I've heard the stories, you know, and I know the Tamiya kits out there. You know, I don't know. I'm a sadist. I like use. I've always wanted to tackle the Hasagawa kit. Um, you know, when I was a kid, that was just, I mean, best of the best. You know, and I could never afford it because they would always run $70, $80. And now you can find them on eBay for 50 to $60, sometimes cheaper than that. Um, so I think I'll probably be tackling one of those. In fact, I'll pull it out for you. Just hold tight. In the stash here. See, I've got two. And I haven't quite decided which one to get started. I've got a B model. Probably using aftermarket decals. I believe I've got an aftermarket resin cockpit for one of these, going old school. Or I may just upgrade and get one of the Quinta Studios things. I think, you know, I've listened to Phil Flory talk about putting the black box cockpit in these is a nightmare, and I don't know if I'm wanting to make it that complicated. You know, I have enough struggles in life. Nobody needs to add to it. So. And the second one is the infamous Jolly Rogers BF-103. Who doesn't like a good skull and crossbones on their plane? Very original. Never seen that before. So, you know, I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm leaning towards this one just because of the cool. I've always liked the Jolly Roger low visibility scheme. I don't like the flashy stuff. I'm an 80s kid, so I like the 80s Tomcats, all the low visibility guys. So, yeah, you know, we'll see. Put down in the comments which one you think would be better, the D or the B. So, if I do a B, probably do it loaded with some bombs for OEF, Afghanistan, with the lantern pod. I think it's got a resin lantern pod in here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and look at this. This is cool. So I got this on eBay, and whoever you are, congrats to you, sir. Well done. Nice work. Let me show you what this individual did with this model. So I bought this on eBay, right? To my knowledge, the flap system on the Hasagawa Tomcat is posable, static, not workable. This guy put sheet styrene in here and made these flaps workable. Look at that. Sheet styrene all through it. And I mean, hats off to you, sir, whoever you are. The guy bought it from, got a hangnail there. Look at that. That's latex gloves, folks. That's what they do to your hands. But I was just blown away by that. I mean, That's impressive. I would not have had the patience to do that, but um, you know. He also did. I noticed this. If you've ever built a Tomcat before, a 48 scale Tomcat, you know what that's for. That's so you can take the wings in and out. You slot it so you don't have to deal with all this stupid mechanism that the engineers come up with to make. It's pointless. It's stupid and plastic. But all you got to do is there's a shaft on there. You just stick this in there, and then you can pose it. Which the only thing I'm kind of ticked off about is that he glued the slats down. So there's only one way I can pose this thing, and I'm not a big fan of the Tomcat with the wings spread out and all that. But oh well, what are we gonna do? But again, I'm impressed by how he did that. So hats off to you, sir. Whoever you are. But lantern pod, yeah, there's a resin lantern pod in there somewhere. So I don't know. I may hold off on this one for a diorama or something, being that it's got to be in the takeoff position, possibly landing. I'm not sure if the slats would be down in a landing configuration. Those are the two kits I got. So those will be coming to the channel soon. Gonna review some tools. Lots of goodies. If you just stay tuned, I promise the dedication to the channel, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you around, talking to you folks. Message me if you have any questions. I love talking to other modelers about modeling. I frequent the Reddit forums these days, and there's I can tell a lot of young guys that are just learning how to get into the hobby. And like I said, I've been doing it 30 years, and I love helping the next generation get into this stuff. And I love learning from the guys who have also been doing it a long time, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, So just want to say thank you for watching. If you made it this far, and I enjoy being on YouTube again, and hope to talk to you guys soon.
Smoker Wedding